Rec Room released an update not too long ago. Let's talk circuits. This will be a new series where I'm gonna cover all the new things that got added to the circuit systems. Today we're gonna cover the Holy Update Coach Edition that got released about 2 days ago from me recording this. The first thing they added is the ability to execute circuits using the makeup and tools. That means you don't have to use a button anymore to test these circuits. If you have the setting on, you can just use the connect tool and go to the execution port and just click on it. It will just execute a signal. This is very useful for rooms that don't have any ink left and you don't want to delete anything. But yeah, this is a very useful feature. The next thing they added is color support to the Lerp chip. What Lerp does, if you give it a position of a start and an end, it will output a vector 3 position depending on the number here. If you give the start the position of the blue cube and the end of the position of the yellow cube, and you make the progress 0.5, it'll give you the exact middle between these two cubes. Here's a quick little example. It gets the position from my left hand and my right hand, and it gets the distance and feeds it to the Lerp. Depending how far my hand is to the other, the further it will go to the end position, which is the yellow cube. It will be some sort of like slider thing. Since they added the ability to add color into Lerp, you can make a light that smoothly transitions between two colors now. Look how cool that looks, man. Here's the circuit I made for this slide. You can pause the video and look at that. Yeah, I'm not explaining. They have also added intensity to the set player vignette. This is what Vignette does for those who don't know. It gives like a reddish outline. It's very useful if you get hit or you're in like some foggy area. But yeah, you can set the intensity. This is it at max. And this is it at low. It's not even there. And they have officially added the set authority chip. What I could do for this is, for example, when I make a gravity gun, when you use a normal gravity gun without the set authority chip, if you pick up an object and another player touches it, it will spaz out. Well, with this chip, you can make it not spaz out. Pretty cool chip. A bunch of us have been asking for this for a while, and they finally added it. Here's probably the coolest thing they added to this update. It's the prompt multiple choice player chip. You give it a list of answer choices. You give it a prompt and a title body. When you execute it, it will show up this prompt. So when player chooses something and presses OK, then it outputs a signal and the response they have put in. This is a pretty awesome chip and very useful. I'll definitely use this in some of my future maps. And they also added the get farthest and the get closest chip. You give it an origin, for example, a makeup an object, and you get a list of targets, like get all players. For this get furthest, it will give you the furthest player from this object. And for the closest, it's pretty much the same thing, but it will give you the closest player to the object. Two awesome chips. They can be used for multiple things. But yeah. And they finally added the laser pointer. It's basically just like the Rage Finder, but this one is only for looks. This one doesn't even interact with anything. It's only for looks. You can set the height of it and the color of it and enable, disable it. But yeah, you can finally make a laser with CV2. Last but not least, we got these 3 chips. The hue, saturation, and value to color chip, red, green, blue to color chip, and the parse color. For this one, it's pretty simple. You just give it the hue, saturation, and value, and it'll just output the color. For this one, it's the same. You input the amount of red, green, or blue. An example used of this is make a random color generator. Parse color is you input a hex code to it and it'll output the color of that hex code. That's all the circuit related stuff they added to this update. Awesome chips, very useful. You can support me and Rec Room by using my code Clover in the Rec Room item shop so I can make more videos. Maybe this series if this does well. That's all I have for you now. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.